So back-to-back reviews, let's go. I have to say, this was a game that was recommended to me in chat by quite a few people, and I saw a friend of mine playing it as well. And to be fair, the hype around it was definitely real. Ravenlok on the Xbox Series X, a full breakdown analysis on a game that we managed to clear in one sitting, one stream, one day. I do have a good amount of notes. Some of these are puzzles, puzzle answers though. But we're going to break this game down in the exact same way, just like we break any other review down. We give it the same treatment, and it needs to be fair. So this is what we're doing. The very first thing that we always look into, and something that I actually loved throughout this game, is the choice of music used, the audio, the soundtrack, and the piano music in this game is phenomenal. It is absolutely fantastic from start to finish. There are a lot of the areas that you explore throughout the game, it is all piano music, and I fell in love with it. I really did. Not only because I play the piano myself, or used to play the piano myself, but it's just a very emotional piece of equipment to use for soundtracks. The piano works so well, and in this game it worked incredible. It fit. Every level had its own unique piece, and it fit and it worked, and I absolutely loved it. In terms of the effects, the sword fighting, the magic that you use, the explosion, and the enemy noises as well, I can't fault it in any way. I had a lot of fun playing throughout this game itself. I really did. So in terms of the soundtrack, fantastic. Audio effects, can't fault it. I really can't. It sounded absolutely great. The voice acting, this is a little bit of the weaker part of the game itself. I really do feel that this game could have massively benefited from an actual voice acting dialogue from the main character that you use. You get to name the main character itself, so it's pretty much based on what you want to call her. But I thought it would have been really nice to sit back and just listen to the dialogue. It is all text prompt, so if you're not into reading or a lot of chit-chat reading, then I guess you're probably just either going to skip through it all, or you're just not going to bother reading it, I guess. But I felt that this game would have definitely shined a lot more if it did have a voice dialogue throughout the whole game of different actors and actresses coming together. The main character, when she uses a lot of her moves, she does talk. She does say words itself, but throughout the game she doesn't. It's all done by text. I keep hitting the mic. I apologize. This is just a personal thing. This is just me. I do prefer to listen to dialogue than read dialogue. That's just my personal preference. And I feel it could have also added to a lot of the emotion throughout the story, because the story is really good. It's a very good story. And if you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, then this is going to definitely fill that void for you, because it's like they took so much inspiration from Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, that's just my personal preference. I feel voice acting should have been used. Graphics, texturing, and weather effects. The graphics in this game are a mixture combination of current gen with some retro in it as well. Certain textures that are used in some of the buildings and when you're running around are very blocky and old school, and it works. And the colors, the color palette that they used in a lot of the levels in this game, I was absolutely blown away. Absolutely blown away. When you reach a certain area, you go there 3 times to receive certain relics. The area was gorgeous. It was so beautiful. And I cannot fault them in any way. I thought the game visually looked absolutely stunning. The neon colors that they used all worked. The spell effects as well had their own colors. But I have to give them a pat on the back. I thought this game was visually absolutely breathtaking. And we're not talking realistic human sort of graphics. It's very cartoony, and I was blown away. I'm not gonna lie, I was blown away. So good job on the graphics, 100%. There wasn't really weather effects within the game, like rain, thunder, lightning, snow, or anything like that. So I can't really add to that. But I was very, very happy with what I was seeing visually. We didn't see any broken textures. We didn't see any missing textures, any black squares like we have in recent 2023 games, which I still can't believe to this day that we're still seeing. There was no screen tearing. There was no frame droppage. The game operates on 4K HDR 1060 FPS. So the game visually, if you had this on a 4K widescreen TV, this game would pop so well. So, good job, guys. Really, really, really good job. Character model design, from the character to the enemies that you fight, to the bosses that you fight, and the NPCs that you talk with, all the characters visually looked fantastic. None of them looked shit in any way. The bosses all looked great, and they all appeal in some way. They all look unique. There isn't a massive boss list, but each boss did have its own image, its own characteristics, its own attacks, its own abilities. And yeah, they look spot on. If you want a little nitpick, I guess with this game, you could have created your own female character or male character. I don't know if running around only as a female was a symbol in any way. I know there was a lot of queen pictures up around, so I don't know if there's any correlation to that in any way. But could the game have allowed you to create your own hero from scratch, even if it's simple customization from the face, the hair, the clothing? I think they probably could have gotten away with that, to be fair. I think they probably could have done it, because you're called Ravenlok, so that's unisex in a way. There's no male or female to it. So maybe being able to customize your own hero, I think that could have been cool. It would have made it a bit more of a personal touch that way, because whenever you create your character from scratch, you create a bit more of a special bond to that character, because it's your character, you created them. But the character models that they look great, and I can't really throw a fault down that direction, to be fair. I can't. Replayability and game difficulty. This is one of the weaknesses of the game. There isn't a lot of replayability in this game. I'm not gonna lie. We did a full playthrough in under 5 hours. We maxed out on all the achievements, 100% achievement. We only had to look up one of the achievements, and that was with one of the collectibles that you had to run around and find. And I was only missing 3 of them, I think it was, at the end of it. And then we found the last 3, handed them in, and boom, we did it. The achievements are super, super easy to go for in this game. They are not challenging at all. And in terms of game difficulty, we played this game on normal mode. From the patch notes that I read, the difficulty choice wasn't actually an option when the game first came out. One of the patches that they rolled down unlocked the ability to change it from easy, medium to hard in the options mode, because Crown Clown, again, a friend of ours who was playing this and is one of the reasons why we reviewed this, he didn't have the ability to select the difficulty option, so he played this pre-patch, and we played it on normal because, again, it's a review. We always do reviews on normal difficulty. Did I find the game hard? Not in the slightest. not in the slightest at all. We used one potion throughout the entire duration of our playthrough from start to finish. One potion. And that was on the end game boss, because she somehow hit us with a double attack. Even though we weren't in front of her, we was beside her, but we somehow still got hit. So play the game on hard if you want to, but to be honest, there is no reason why you'd need to. if you want my honest opinion. I'm not going to spoil the game in any way because this is not what we do, but you don't need to play the game on hard. Play the game on easy if you just want breezy mode, or if you just want a normal playthrough, play on normal. It's not difficult. It really isn't. Gameplay and mechanics. The gameplay, hack and slash wise, you could, yes, class it as a hack and slash. It's definitely action adventure, 100%. The character runs around sword and shield, very much Link style or Zelda style. The sword looked, I'm not going to lie, looked really, really badass. She pulled it from the stone itself, so it's like a sword and a stone sort of thing. The sword looked great. The shield looked average, not, you know, not massively impressive. There isn't any other sword or shield that you can buy throughout the game, and I do feel that is a bit of a weakness, if you want my opinion. I think it would have been a fantastic idea if the sword and the shield that you acquire throughout the game, you start off with maybe like a wooden, crummy, old style, ratty little shield that would fall apart at any moment, and maybe a stick sword. And as you progress throughout the game, you either buy new versions of the sword and shield, or you upgrade the sword and shield until they reach like a high tier. I think that would have been freaking awesome, because that would add more variety to your sword and shield, because that never changes throughout the entire game. It's always the same sword, same shield. You can level your character up, not through experience, but through the materials that drop from the enemies that you fight, and that kind of makes it super easy to level up. To be fair, we flew through the levels. We went from level 1 to level 20 very, very, very fast. We only had 2 levels left to hit at the end game, which got us our last achievement, which was reach max level of level 20. And I guess because of how quickly we could level up throughout the game, which affected all your stats in one go, there isn't a certain level that you can work on. You can't work on health, strength, stamina, and stuff like that. They all go up with one level up, which made the game really easy. Like really, really, really easy. I know the game's PEGI 7, so I know that they cater to teenagers and below. But yeah, this game was very, very, very easy to breeze through. And once you've done one playthrough, like I said, there isn't really replayability in the game. It doesn't exist. The mechanics, the sword play mechanics were super simplistic, the super basic. And I said this very early in the stream, that Link from Ocarina of Time on the N64 had more complex sword mechanics than this game does. And when I say that to myself, I think they could have done a bit more. I'm not gonna lie. You just swing your sword in one way. That's pretty much it, over and over and over again, really quickly. You can actually stun lock the enemies very, very fast in this game, and you can swing it at an unrealistic speed, which means you can push the enemy into a corner and they can't really wiggle out of it, and they're dead within seconds. I think they could have done a lot more around the sword play style and the techniques that you use, instead of it just being this is basically the whole game. That's it. And again, I laugh because, like I said, Link in Ocarina of Time had more sword play mechanics than this game does, and this is 2023. So I think they could have definitely done a lot more around that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because it would have added to the game, to be fair. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say around it. Any game customization and stats building, we've already spoken about the stats building aspect, because, like I said, all the stats go up per level when you level up. Game customization, the only thing that's customizable in this game is the headpiece that you wear, which you acquire through progression through the game. So you can find nice, cute little accessories to put on your head, which will unlock further achievements as well. You only need to wear each headpiece once. Some of them are nice, some of them are meh, you know, doesn't really add any extra characteristics. It doesn't add any abilities to your characters, so they don't come with bonuses, which again maybe could have been a massive missed opportunity there. And if you want my honest opinion, the gold in this game is freaking useless. You can buy bombs and you could buy health items if you wish. I never needed to. The only reason why I bought 20 bombs and 30 health potions was at the very end game, and I just wanted the achievements. That is it. I bought one poison ring accessory early game, which was the only one thing I actually bought. And there is nothing else for you to buy in the shops. And I think that is a massive missed opportunity there. I think the shop owner could have sold you additional items, and the enemies in the game could have added elemental attacks to their abilities like frost, fire, and you could have bought yourself maybe a fire coat or some ice trousers, or just add to the freaking game. Because I do feel that there is a lot missing from this game that they could have put in there and added to it. Some of your weapons could have been frost sword, fire sword, lightning accessories and stuff like that. Earrings, necklaces, hair accessories that could have added to attributes or abilities. And you know, the game doesn't have any of it. It's a super basic game, and I'm sorry, but after completing this game, I felt like there was a lot missing. I really did, and it's just a shame. It's just a shame. I just think they could have added to the game to extend the game's longevity, maybe even to extend the game's replayability as well. Maybe giving you some extra trial challenges to do where you get to refight bosses and you have to try and defeat them in a certain time limit. None of that. It's just A, B, complete, done. It's super simple. Story, if applicable. The story is very good, and it does carry emotion within the story, but because there's no vocal dialogue throughout the game, you can't really get a lot of emotion through the text. You get some, but vocal words carry more weight than reading, in my honest opinion. And I think if they would have added those vocal dialogues throughout the story, I think that would have added to the emotion of the story and it would have carried more weight, in my opinion. And I don't know. Reading it was okay, but it just again felt like it was missing something. But the story's great. It's a great story, a very Alice in Wonderland type story, and you know, you make friends throughout the game. All your friends are all unique, they're all different, and they all hold their own characteristics, but again, there's just no vocal audio to them. They're just puppets with text. There is no online co-op features and stability, so we can't talk about any of that. The purchase price versus digital price and value of content. One thing I didn't check is, can this game be purchased as a physical? I didn't check that. So let me really quickly check my usual shop. Ravenlok. No game found. Okay. Game.co.uk. Ravenlok. No, can't get it in game either. And I'm guessing Amazon may sell just digital codes for the game. I'm guessing. Ravenlok. No, nothing. This game's a digital only purchase game by looks of it. So, how much was it? Luckily, we got to play this game on Game Pass. I'm always greatly appreciative that I'm able to play a game on Game Pass, because not only does it allow me to add extra review work to my portfolio, but it also allows me to save some money, which I desperately need to put towards other reviews. So I am a massive fan of Game Pass, by the way, and if you don't have Game Pass, you're missing out massively. The game to buy digital is $20.99, so £21. Do I feel that this game qualifies for a £21 price tag? If you want my honest opinion, no. I think £21 is a bit high for the content that you have. They do 2 extra DLC packs that you can buy, but they are only cosmetics only. They are just hat pieces that your character can wear for $2.24 each. So if you was to buy the £21 game and the two 24 packs, so you're looking at 26-ish pound for the game, the 2 extra packs and everything. So 26 quid. I don't think this game qualifies for a £21 price tag. I think that's a bit high. If you want my honest opinion, there are games out there that I have bought cheaper that have way more content in it. Way more. And I'm talking at the $14.99 price tag. There are bigger games out there, like bigger games. So a £15 price tag would have been way more at the money and below. If you want my honest opinion, I just think this carries a little bit higher of a price tag for the value of content. That's what all it boils down to, is it doesn't match the value of content, especially if you could breeze through it in 4 or 5 hours and no replayability in it. That's the money gone. You know, play it again if you wish to, but you have no reason to if you've unlocked all the achievements and you've got no reason to touch it anymore. So let's go through my notes. A lot of it is going to add to what we've already spoken to. First of all, the game size itself is only a 4.1 gig game. It's very small. The game has had 2 patches already. A lot of those patch notes, from what I've read, add languages and difficulty and controller access control. It's a PEGI 7. Already spoken about. Consoles available for Xbox and Windows only, so PlayStation players don't get to experience the game, unfortunately, nor do Nintendo Switch players. This game could have easily been on PlayStation and Switch, just to allow more people to experience your game. Stop stopping people from playing your game by only being exclusive to certain platforms. Try to branch out. It will get you more money in the long run. It really will. Game type, action adventure. The publishers behind the game, and I hope I don't butcher this, Coco Cucumber, which I've never heard of before. Love the name, by the way. And I will tag these guys on Twitter with the review itself, and hopefully we'll get a nice response from them. Single player action adventure, 4K HDR 10 60 FPS, which we've already talked about. We've already talked about the cosmetic add-ons that the game offers if you want to buy them. We found that teleporting around the game is a great way to restore your health, so it saves your potions. Would have been nice to have more items to spend your gold on, because we reached massive numbers of money and we had nothing to spend it on, which was a shame. More cosmetics and costumes would have been nice. New weapons, swords and shield variations would have been nice. New accessories would have been nice. Challenges would have been nice, so trials or challenges to earn yourself more items. We found out that once you reach, I think it was like level 14 or level 15, that 20,000 items was the cap that you needed to level up after that point. Made it very easy, to be fair. The game made it very easy. Beautiful graphics, unique and awesome bosses. Again, I can't knock any of those. The end game, we was missing 4 dolls. We found those last 4 dolls with help with the community and a guide just to find those last 4 to get the last achievement that was missing. So we ended up with 50 over 50 achievements. The cauldron and the shop could have been utilized better to offer more items. I massively agree. The cauldron, pointless, to be fair, when you could buy the potions from the shop. To be honest, the cauldron was useless. So it would have been nice if the cauldron could have allowed you to brew certain things. So maybe allowing us to find more items off of the enemies to make unique items, potions, grenades or stuff. All the rest that I've pretty much got written down are just puzzle notes from the game. The puzzles were not that difficult itself. I would recommend playing with the piece of paper and pen just so you could write some of the things down, just so you wouldn't forget. Other than that, it was a breeze. It was. So what it boils down to now is, would I recommend you play this game? or buy this game, and what would I rate it? Would I recommend that you allow your kids to experience this game? 100% yes. This is a great kids game to play. It appealed in my inner child for sure. I had fun playing it. Would I recommend my friends go play it? Go play it on Game Pass, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Would I recommend that you go out and spend £21 on this game? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. That price point is just too much for what the game has to offer. If you can play it for free, 100%. If you can play at a half price or more discount on top, then yes, I probably would, because it's just value of content isn't there in my opinion. What would I score it? This is the tough one, because I do feel there's missing content. I do feel the game could have had way more to offer the player. Yes, the game visually looked absolutely fantastic. The fights were fantastic. The boss fights were great. There is so much that this game does have to offer, but at the same time, there is missing things in my opinion. And that does push down the score. If you want my opinion, it does push down the score. I'm honestly happy offering. I am conflicted. I've got two scores in my head. I enjoyed playing the game. I thought the story was really good. I thought the gameplay was super basic and just lacking, in my opinion. I think the sword play is lacking as well. And that's one thing I really wanted to be good, because again, Link from Ocarina of Time has more combat variety than this game does in 2023. If you want my honest opinion, I don't feel I can go any higher than a 7. I'm torn between 6.5 and a 7. It's an Alice in Wonderland story type, so it's 7. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. I'm gonna go with 7. I'm happy with 7. I can't go any higher than that, because I just feel there's a lot missing from this game. And I think I'm giving it a 7 because it does have a little emotion. It does have good story. The game looked great visually. The game sounded great as well. So great graphics, great colors, great soundtrack, great enemy variation as in the bosses themselves. But the game misses just so much out of it. So I'm happy rating this game a 7 out of 10. But please, guys, let me know what you thought down below in the YouTube comments. If you feel that I'm being too harsh, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my personal opinion on it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the review. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.